So guys, we're gonna do a reaction video. I'm told this is a one of the SRFs like 3 weeks before. We were just trying to get everything done, and we are actually at that time right now. We are 2.5 weeks before SRF, October 14th and 15th. We're gonna have a ton of people. So every day there's a little bit of scurrying around to get just a section of the compound done how I want it. So typically I'm like, okay, 3 weeks ahead of time, we're going to start getting this stuff ready. And we usually start the day before. So we've actually started kind of getting the stuff ready. So we're 3 weeks ahead of where we normally are each year. So we're going to watch this video and just kind of see what it looks like then versus now. It's probably last year, year before.
The tent.
So the tent, guys, I think we pay, what do we pay for that? $2,500 to have that thing here?
I have no idea.
And we don't even own it. If you want to buy this, it's like 10, 15 grand. The crew, they sent a crew out here that usually consists of like 6 dudes. And what that means is there's 4 dudes standing around doing very little and 2 dudes doing 90% of it.
They pound the things in.
I would almost be better off. We'd almost be if we bought the thing and then just hired somebody to come in and set it up.
That tent is one of those things where it's like, well, how do you do this? And it's exactly the way you think it's done.
Yeah, with a sledgehammer.
Yeah, there's a guy hammering a big ass nail.
So that's this giant like 3-foot fucking spike that's an inch around.
Yeah.
And they're driving it with a sledgehammer. And there's literally one dude driving most of them, and then the other 4 dudes the other 4 guys will take a few swings and be out of breath, and the little dude, who looks like he should not be the dude driving them all, has drove like 6 of them by that time. Yeah. And this place is gravel. Like but you could totally get a gas powered or a pneumatic driver, just like a T-post driver would drive those things. I feel like we look a lot more dead out here now. Is everything turning brown already?
Yeah, baby.
Right now?
It's October.
So maybe this is a March one. No, because March would be dead still too.
So this was uploaded October 9th of last year.
So same time, yeah, right about the same time. That trailer is right there still. I put it back there. Joel, we actually moved all that shit out of there, and Joel's like, "Hey, can you put that trailer back? It works perfect for the dogs." And then that chicken tractor right there is badass. Like that's the same tarp that's been on that thing for a couple of years now. I need to find out what that material is and just buy that and make all of our covers out of that. I've got a dude coming in here right now that's fabbing up actual solid metal roof for the dog kennel. I got him doing one to see how it turns out, and if that's what I want, then we're gonna do all of them. Because I've always been like, well, let's just tarp it. 2 guys can pick them up and we can move the kennels as we need to. But we really don't. We always use 4 people anyway. So if we add 100 pounds to it, not a problem. And then I've got the sheep tractor. He's coming in and welding some braces because I wanted it as light as we could get it so I could move it by hand. But I really don't move it by hand. I just move it with the 4-wheeler with a little bit of, paracord, or not paracord, but tubular nylon. So I didn't take care of the wheels, and I said from day one, I go, these need to be solid wheels. And we got these fucking rubber inner tube wheels, which were great, but then one went flat and I didn't take care of it. And then I ripped one of the wheels off, and now the frame's all bent because the wheels are flat and I'm dragging it and shit.
It's wonky.
So he's going to add 100 pounds, no problem. Because we don't move it with myself. Yeah. So I can just move it with equipment. So, but that chicken tractor right there, awesome. It was $3,000 when I bought it, which was a lot.
Is that the one that's like you walk into it?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's really cool.
And it's got these wheels like off of a big off-road stroller, so you just pull the bar down and lock it with the chain, and then you can just pick it up and move it. Like I push it uphill just by myself, no problem.
So the funny story about that, we were on the lot looking at them, and I didn't realize that it only opens from the outside. The latch only opens from the outside, and we got locked in there. And
the wire's just small enough you can't get to the latch.
What did I use? I used one of my chopsticks to open it.
I'm like, that didn't make it in any vlogs because it was dark and you can't see anything. Yeah. But it's like you're there, like breaking out with your chopsticks.
Yeah, but we could have totally just lifted it up. I mean, I'm surprised. Like all this stuff here. One time we had one of these dog kennels blow over. We actually had 2 of them blow over. We've never had anything blow over. Like in theory, because we're surrounded by all the trees.
We're in a bowl.
And we're down. Like the cliff comes up, and then we're in a bowl. So we are pretty protected here. Look at all these motherfuckers can't park. There's just fucking none of those cars are in a line.
Oh look, that was you. Oh no, that's the Tundra. Never mind. I was gonna say it's the little truck.
See that? Look at all these cars just fucking all willy-nilly.
Parked wherever.
That's the dude. See all the guys standing around? See the one guy doing all the work? We should just hire him. Yeah. We'll put him on payroll, and just so we have him that one day out of the year. Big top tent's almost up. Pretty cool. Mowing, I mow up and down the highway there.
We have to keep people from driving up on the hill. You know somebody's gonna pull up.
Nobody's gonna. Doing donuts?
I think so. Come up here, we'll see.
Who's that?
Cody.
Ooh, yeah. Keep going.
Oh yeah, the question was, are we about to pull this whole tent over?
And I mean, it would have taken an extra 30 seconds maybe to go around the building, but you wanted to go through that tent.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like I
everything,
drive through it.
every major problem I've ever created could have been prevented with 15 extra seconds.
Could have went really badly. Like a glove. Poor little tink tink. Poor little Range Rover. 3 years of pollen. We haven't really driven this truck. Haven't driven the cars really at all either. We're going to have vendors all the way across here. Why is it so hot in here? Oh my God, it's hot in here. Where is the door lock on this thing? If I remember right, it's someplace crazy.
You know, you got too many fucking cars when you can't find the ignition, the door locks, the window switches, even fucking Toyota cross-platform. Like Toyota, put all your switches in the same fucking place.
So in the Panamera, the ignition is on the left-hand side of the steering wheel instead of the right-hand side. And in the Range Rover, it's in the center console.
The Porsche thing, it was meant for, it's faster to start when you're racing. It would be so much harder for me to start with my left.
Real race cars don't have fucking, they don't have that anyways.
Yeah.
Where is it? Under my hazard lights. Who would have put...
There's the hazards.
Those back doors aren't opening. Probably gonna be a blown fuse or something. Those trucks do not like to be jump started. They're very, very voltage sensitive.
Yep. We had flown out. We use this limo service. We fly out to. We pull in and then they limo us over. But they always detail the cars and they store them inside when we're in Nashville. And something had happened. It was really cold. They had it outside that night ready to go. And the battery had gone low. So they jump started it when we picked it up. And then it started doing crazy shit. And it's just literally a matter of voltage. And when we got onto the interstate, the horn started going. We drove miles and we pulled into a Cracker Barrel. And the whole time we're sitting there, the horn's fucking going. And I'm pulling fuses, trying to get the horn to go off. Finally, I'm like, fuck it. We drove home. The horn burnt itself out.
Yep. It literally honked probably an hour and a half.
So we take it into my friend's shop, and he's like, I don't know. They put a brand new battery in it. He replaces the horn, and the head unit, the stereo's not working. It's just like, okay, this thing's completely fried. And over time, every day, it would get more normal. And after about 3 days, it just fucking worked itself out, whatever the problem was. But if you ever have to, like Range Rover, maybe it's that specific Range Rover, but I've always heard very, very voltage sensitive. And it is, man. You get if your Range Rover's doing some unexpected shit, like it's got ghosts or spirits in it,
check the battery.
Put a new battery in it. Like that'll almost always solve whatever the unexplainable problem is.
Very voltage sensitive.
Unless the doors are opening on their own. That's a problem.
Man, it has been so long since I've driven this Range Rover. It is so stiff. It's like hard, harsh. Not harsh. European, I guess, would be the way to put it, right?
The difference between Mercedes and BMW. When you get in BMW, the seats are very hard, the leather's hard. That's what it's like.
Porsche's European too, but Porsche's not as stiff. This is very like BMW, I guess.
Oh.
Surprised it started out. So what I started to say earlier is they're very voltage sensitive. We had gone, we flew somewhere, I don't remember where. And
I'm saying the same fucking thing.
Use this valet service.
I swear, like people think that we've watched
these
already.
Like a limo van or a limo to the airport, and they keep your car inside.
Those 2 old lawnmowers right there, that's what we bush hogged down the entire property with. I would break rocks. I would take and drop one of those off every Monday at the lawnmower shop. I'd take one over on a trailer, put the one he fixed from last week on the trailer, and drop the broken one off. And we'd put new blades, like, man, once a month, every other month, 6 weeks, we're putting a new set of blades on these things. And I would hit something, and it would bend the blade so bad that even though I would raise the deck and turn the blades off, it would still be bent so much it's cutting a trench in the ground. Yeah, we had 3 of those things, and now, like, it's getting harder to find parts for them, but you can take the decks off of them and just use it as like a lawn tractor around but I mean, we have like bigger stuff now, so they just kind of sit there. I am going to buy another Craftsman mower, just for mowing around the trees and between the fence lines and stuff, because the mower we have does a great job. It's just too big.
At the valet place.
And then that Kubota right there, that's a diesel. That thing, it's like a tank. It's not the nicest mower anymore, but man, that thing, after EMP, that fucking thing will still, we might like put armor on it or something. I don't know.
And they detail.
And then those are all those cages there. Those are all broken frames out of the razors. We've broken a few razors here and there.
And do all kinds of service.
Cody's car that still doesn't run.
So we had them detail it while it was gone, and we picked it up, and it was
runs
really cold.
No, it doesn't.
And the battery was dead. So we jump started it, got it started, and we drove it for about, HTC turned off. We drove it for about 5 minutes, got on the interstate, and the horn started going. And the horn ran for 45 minutes almost until the horn died. It literally burnt itself out. And I was trying fuses, I was pulling out fuses, I was doing everything I could to get the horn to turn off. And there's several fuse panels in this truck, and the horn never did stop. So we got it back, took it to the guy that does all the service on it, Billy Bolin. He doesn't really do auto stuff anymore. He was awesome, man. He
me too.
Serviced all my Porsches, serviced this thing, took care of everything. Come to find out, it needed a new battery. So we put a brand new battery in there, and because they're super, super voltage sensitive. The gremlins, it gets all kinds of weird gremlins. And even after the battery, head unit, the entertainment center in here would blink and do weird shit. And after about 2 weeks, the ghost in the code went away. It fixed itself and just stopped doing all that weird shit. Oh, I don't know if Cody's gonna get through there with a van. Yeah, it looks like he's got it.
Where are you guys going?
I think we're taking these up to the other shop.
Go out on these things. Man, you name it. I love the Range Rover, but I would tell you, don't ever own a Range Rover that is out of warranty.
That's behind the shop there. I actually mowed this just the same like last week, except where I'm mowing right here, I left a big patch because they're going to have a scything demo.
Oh, that's cool.
So I left part of that tall and then up top so they can, depending where the sun is and how hot or cold it is, we got them both covered.
Careful, he bite. That's a nice little cage. I've never seen one.
Oh, that's a couple years ago because that's the pig.
Fingers in here. Will she snap them off?
Would you be a good girl? Yes. Come on, big girl.
You can do it.
I'll bite you on the nose. So for a special for this next 30 days, any EMP shields you buy, the EMP shield guys will come to your facility.
That's who installed all my EMP shield stuff. The EMP shield guys and Billy Bolin or Billy Bond.
Yeah.
And
Those are the guys that own EMP shield right there.
Do your install direct. And Billy Bond, I like to pick up the top level people in their industry and have them do things outside of their industry.
James Yeager came over and built all my tables when we moved here.
If you have exotic cars that need oil changes, they'll do that too. And they'll castrate your horse for you.
Yes.
That's funny how they made it look like it was getting shocked.
I work with dykes and strippers all day.
Dykes and strippers all day.
SOE. I don't hear any screams. Actually, I heard something go.
Well, a lot of this shit controls stuff in other places.
Not with any wires on it.
Okay. This is how I find my problems. I just turn it all off, and then start turning it back on.
So,
It's
hey,
easier to
Drac,
see the
what are you
smoke that
doing?
way.
This man trains fancy dogs to do impressive things, and he has 2 fancy dog hats. This fancy dog hat is really good for the dog, and this fancy dog hat is really good for the person who wants to communicate with the dog, and also the dog if he wants to hear things sometimes.
So we'd asked him, can you put comms and night vision on these? He's like, I've got this one that does sound, but this one's a better one. He's like, I need to do this. I'm like, I got a guy sitting inside right now that can do this. And he actually did. Jack actually did this. I believe they printed something out, and I think they've actually got something brought to market now.
They have something to
I thought he does. I think he does.
What I was going to say about that is, now this might not be somebody's, like, not very many people need a hat or a helmet for a dog that can do this. But what happened here is a tactical canine trainer got introduced to a toy maker.
Yep.
And they created a new product, and that's what happens at SRF.
Yep.
Well, and the toy, people don't realize the toy maker, he actually builds stuff for George Lucas Studios.
Yeah.
Like, it's a pretty big fucking deal. Like, people hear toy maker, haha, like, he built a concrete octagon building or hexagon building. He bought 10 acres. He's like, I'm building my compound. He's in Florida, and they built this fucking poured in place concrete form building. Like, he's doing huge stuff, like really big things.
So his problem is that this needs to have these earpieces from Peltor fit in this. Once upon a time, somebody gave me a degree that said that I was capable of breaking other people's stuff. So he said that I could break his stuff, so I'm going to try and make it better for the dog.
Does this have night vision with it too?
The dogs have night vision.
Yeah, the dogs really don't need night vision.
Really?
The dogs come with built
senses.
in.
They have so many other senses that they use at night.
Can we scuba dive with them?
That I have done, well, not specifically scuba diving, but I've done deployments out of torpedo tubes with them. Oh my God. And no deeper than 30 feet.
So
the stuff comes
like
up
walk out?
just below surface, and you blast out of the tube.
Yeah,
And you just have to teach them
That's
the
how
whole.
you do a lockout. So they flood the compartment where the torpedoes are, and then you can swim out. So you can put swimmers out of a submarine or a lockout like that. They flood it, so you'll be in there with your open or closed circuit, whatever. They'll flood it, and then you can swim out and surface, or swim out and then incursion to shore or target or whatever.
I have a hard time teaching my dog not to panic when I leave for the day. Like, I go to the gym for 2 hours
You
and
take your dog to the pool and you hold him with put a harness on him and you hold him in the water and you go. And you go in together and come right back up. The first time they're like, "What the hell did you just do to me? You threw me under the water." But then you let them calm down, you do it again, you do it again, and pretty quick they realize he goes, "I better freaking hold my breath."
You've really made quite the
Is that
mess.
Jack
with that.
Spirko back there? Yeah.
I have that habit.
You're making me open all my brand new tools that I've never used.
I don't believe that for a second. You know, they say creation is messy. I've never done it before.
Creation is, I've never done it
So
before.
I need to try.
Did you put goggles on every time?
Why did you just put glasses on? Is he about to weld? What
Because
did he do?
he's gonna.
Oh, grind. Okay, grinding.
Time you drill?
Yeah, these are impact rated. These are
But
not.
you actually do every time.
You're filming me, so yes, safety first.
No,
John.
but
Creating pockets for speakers.
So have you watched videos on how to solder before?
Once or twice.
So this is the first time you've actually soldered anything?
Oh, I've never done this before. They don't teach you this tech.
That motherfucker will like pull components off a board and Like
Here,
when
the
I throw
computer.
something away and just buy another one, he's like, I'll just change out this resistor right here. That's the problem.
What's really cool about all those guys just standing around, like that isn't a class that wasn't planned.
No.
Just all these guys just stood around while.
Yeah, and a lot of these guys are like the top of what they do.
Yeah,
It was a totally organic experience.
Yeah.
It was not
I've
planned
never
in
used it
anything.
in toy making.
Okay, so it's gonna explode.
I had a stiletto or a little Surefire light that we needed. I don't know what we need. We needed something off of the board, and we took my old flashlight apart, and he said, yeah, if you puncture this battery, it'll catch on fire or something. So I think that's what we're about to do. But they didn't need the light. They needed a component off the circuit board from the light.
Fire at the very least. I don't know that it'll.
This is the inside of a Surefire stiletto.
It never like exploded but it did like smoke. Yeah.
Yeah, it's smoking. Probably toxic fumes.
That's how your house gets burned down. All right, there it is. So 2 weeks from now, we're going to have the 6th Self-Reliance Festival. And you can still get tickets at selfreliancefestival.com. Bunch of people coming out. Great time. You're going to meet a lot of people. And all you dudes that are like, man, how do you find like-minded people? Or where do you find a girl? Or, how do I do this? Or I wish I could. This is how you do it. You just show up to one, and you have to go where those people are. And you never know what door is going to open because of that. So hopefully we will see you guys there.